Okay. We have a thing going on. Just needs to do the final sound check and we're off to go. Okay, that seems to be alright. Yes, hello Slaughter, welcome to the stream. Well, I turn the music down ever so slightly. There we go. Oh, yes. Hello there everyone, welcome, welcome, as I finish setup. And tell YouTube this is from the depths, because it's decided it's something else again. Hey Crispins, welcome to you as well. Yes, welcome one and all back to From the Depths Adventure Mode. Beneath the waves, in theory. Well, we'll get there sooner or later, won't we? Just need some material storage. Okay, right. We tried this last week, and I honestly did an extremely poor job of it, so, you know, as you do. Yeah, you've beaten everyone, Crispin. But, you know, no one was talking on the Discord, so... eh. You were here first, there you go. Enough said. But anyway, general plan is what I was trying to say. I'm going to put together just a simple harvesting platform. Nothing beyond that. And my goal is to get 3,500 because then I can build the ship I submitted the other week. Just to give us a way out of the starting area. Because we all know how fair the starting area is, after all. So I think that's that describes things pretty well, actually. How fair the starting area is. Let's give it some injectors. I don't care about efficiency. This craft is going to be scrapped. Well, not scrapped. It's the core adventure craft after all, but it's going to be. It's not going to last long in its current form. Let's put it that way. So all we have to do is gather resources quickly. Yeah, I'd be surprised if Raz doesn't join. Though honestly, I don't think we've shared like 2 words in the last well, since Monday actually. Which is a bit strange, but there you go. There we go. That's more or less tapped out my engine. Oh no, we can keep on adding more, apparently. I think that'll about do it. Also, the craft is getting unstable pretty quickly. When's next Net of Cruise grid? There's going to be one on Friday, I think it is. I said last week, but then things came up and... oh, this rocking. Oh dear. There was meant to be one last week. Unfortunately, that one fell through. But I don't want to keep you guys waiting on that, so there will be one fairly soon. So we're talking like it, probably day after tomorrow. Okay, we're gathering material. Time for stage 2 of my plan. Ha ha ha. Which is to build a new craft. Don't worry, I'm not going to be doing anything silly like with this thing. It's not going to be a balloon platform either. Instead, this is going to be a resource storage platform. Which needs to hold... actually, that holds more than enough already. And it needs a chair and a heart, just to make sure I don't die while refitting to the next step. So it's just like that.
Lifting.
So these guys are route 1. Yep. And the adventure craft doesn't want any resources at all.
Lifting.
So there we go. All resources will be stored in this separate little vehicle here, where I'll go and sit. And then as soon as we build up to the required 3,500 odd, depends how much this thing costs, 1,000 almost. So about 2,500 resources is what we need to build up the next craft-ish. And then we can get this off the ground. So, yeah, I've got a plan for once. Don't know if it's going to be a good plan, but it's a plan. Kinda. Might be a kind of a plan, might be not a plan. I don't know, it's just a thing. Just a thing. It shouldn't take too long to do either, which is why I'm kind of okay with it. Unfortunately, I've outstripped the resource zone, so it's going to... I've got to wait for the resources. Ow. Anyway, for those of you who didn't catch it though, the idea is that I built a cheap hover vehicle-ish that's like 3,600 odd in cost total. Fully adventure fitted, lure box, high speed, stuff like that. So the idea is that I'm going to get enough material and then I'm going to refit my starting craft, which is currently harvesting all these resources for me, into that craft, and then I can use that to just get out of dodge. As soon as an enemy shows up, I can just run for a portal. Or probably be safer and just run for a portal before that. Just to escape the first zone, because the first zone is... It's very fun to be here, but it's very broken to be here as well. That's what I don't like about it. It's so easy to get yourself killed. And hey Araz, welcome to the stream. We were wondering where you got to. Oh, you had to fuel. There we go. Get on with it. Yep, we're like halfway to where we want to be already. Not bad. Halfway in about 7 minutes. Actually, that's not very good at all, is it? The 10-minute mark would probably see us actually be ready to go off, though. You can revisit the first zone. Oh, is it still as broken as it is here? Actually? I'm guessing it is, because it's something to do with the difficulty modifier, isn't it? So it's a problem though, isn't it? Like, the first zone is incredibly dangerous, but it's also a very interesting place to be. And then you've got a lot of zones where there's not much happening until you get really deep in. So, I think adventure mode does need some attention. It is broken as it is right now. Yeah, okay, they're revisiting it later. Though, wasn't there something on being discussed recently that the multiplayer is broken and they're not planning to fix it? Or something like that? Oh, that's walking just a bit too much for comfort. Let's just stabilise that. The sea got a bit rougher apparently. Oh, you blame Lathrix for not noticing my stream. How dare you? How dare you? Actually, I need to get back into Lathrix stuff. I've not watched From the Depths for him for a little while. I think like a month. No, more than that. I've not followed his most recent Ashes series. I just drop in randomly on other videos usually. Yeah, the sea's getting a bit rough here. Oh dear. Whenever I see the boat rocking like that, I think it's just going to roll over. Because that's happened so often before. Resource gatherer is underwater. No, it's not. You are not underwater. You are confused. Very much so. Don't really want to add anything to the vehicle though, because this vehicle is going to be scrapped soon. Because I'm almost at the point where I'm comfortable starting to build the next thing. Because we've got 2,000... Yeah, I've got 2,500 resources raw stored. And then if we retrofit this thing to... current designs... Yeah, this one with all the resource harvesting, that is the starter vessel. I made sure to keep track of which one was which. Let's see. I want the... Oh, there it is, the AC, which costs... Yeah, refit costs 3,600. And I am at 2,600 right now. Extends out the ship with helicopter blades. Interesting idea. Oh, it's out of fuel again. But this thing is worth 971. This little craft is worth another 100, almost. So between these two craft, I've got 1,000 resources in place. And I've got 2,700, 2,800 in storage, so yeah, I think I'm going to risk it now, actually, and get this thing refitted. So retrofit to the AEC skimmer. Adventure raft, 0%. Start fixing it, please. Oh wait, I need a misc, don't I? I need a tentacle to get it started. It's dead, and I've not lost the game. Okay. That's kind of weird. I'm also kind of wondering why my tentacles aren't helping with that. Come on, repair tentacles. Help out with this thing, darn it. Oh, now you are. Thank you. I just have to watch my heartstone so I can jump back over to that thing as soon as I need to. For some reason, when I'm not on it, it's not accepting it. Which is a bit weird. So though, as soon as we've got... oh, the thruster's starting to fire. That's good. Is the heartstone in place, though? It is not yet. Kind of. Where did I put the heartstone? The heartstone's in the middle, around here somewhere, I think. Ah, there we go. The heartstone's in. Engines going in. Thrusters are kicking in a very bad fashion. Yep. Check. We are now upside down underwater. Double check. Okay, we're off to an excellent start. Oh boy. Yep, great start. Okay, air. It wouldn't be one of my adventures if I had... if I didn't wind up ditching the ocean in some unsustainable way which was stopping me from doing anything. It wouldn't be one of mine, would it? I'm looking for a hot air balloon. Yep, the dirt fin lives! With a balloon, that should fix it. I forgot to account for the fact that when built this thing would be unstable. Oh well, it's a solid design apart from that though. I like to think. Let's get back into the resource zone though. There we go. What was the funny vehicle? The dirt fin. Ooh. Oh, it's because it started out without any battery on it either. Bit of a problem for a diesel electric, that. Bit of a problem. Okay, I think this thing is faulty. Great. Absolutely great. I need to burn some fuel off and just get things working. So let's get a cylinder on top. And we'll again use injectors just to kick up the battery pack. Set you to maximum battery charge. And exhausts. It doesn't help that I went straight into the research zone, but I really should have realised that that was going to be an issue. Oh, well, at least it's charging up now, so there is that, I suppose. But it's not ready for full throttle. I should have foreseen this and realised that, unlike in build mode, when you build a battery, you don't come in with... Oh, jeez. And we've got our first visitor. Well, that's great. Do we have any green zones anywhere? Not really, but I want to run away like right now. So... I don't want to be here. Goodbye. Hopefully this is not... No, no, my battery's gaining. Okay. Do I have complex controller altitude controls? No, I didn't set that up. This thing just hovers like 5 meters up in the air. Just need to try and find a way out of here, really. But having that extra engine strapped on top of me has dropped me to 68 meters a second, so, you know, I've lost some speed. I've lost a bit of face, as usual. But yeah, it's set to like 10 meters. Oh, there's a red zone right over there. So yeah, we can get straight out of here. Which is good, because that means this vehicle's serving its purpose though, doesn't it? Just run the hell away. As fast as possible. And all will be well. So that means if I get out of the zone, I've got to refit it to be a submarine. I also really should have set complex controller for altitude. Whatever that is, I can see it in the distance, so it must be something fairly big. It's pretty far away. Okay. No way I'm high enough for that thing. Yep, way, way, way too low. So the question is, how high do I have to be? Where is my altitude control? It is buried back here, I think. Nope, it's not. It's buried in front here, actually. Let's see, you are the... Put an automated autocannon and an AI and then it automatically won. No, then I'd just get shot. So that doesn't quite match my definition of winning, to be quite honest. Okay, not high enough. Well, at least one thing in this craft is working as advertised. It's very, very stable. That's not enough either. 300 then. Oh, got past it. And now I think we're too high. Oh. I'm just swirling above this vortex and it's not going anywhere. Let's drop back to 200, that should do it. Nope, nope, I've missed it again. 250? Come on, let me through, darn it. This is not fair. Why? Why? I'm practically in the middle of the thing. I'm still missing it. What the heck? 260 then. Seriously, why is it not letting me through? Why are you not letting me through? You're a red portal, let me through, darn it. Look how close I am to it. It's not working. What the heck? That's just weird. Luckily there's another one over there, so I'll head to that one instead, but, I mean, come on. Oh, get some distance. Okay, I just need to refresh my fuel storage. If it were a battle royale, not really. Cause, well, it would still have so much building time though. That'd be a thing. No, that one's just not working. Very strange. Okay, let's ignore that one then and go for this one instead. My battery's fully charged, so I can get rid of that extra engine. I don't need it anymore. There we go. That'll give me some speed back. Off we go. Already did it. Now, that is the first time, though, I've had a portal refuse to let me through. It's very strange. Very, very, very strange. I also wish I had set up a complex controller for altitude control. That would be quite useful. Especially since this craft is meant to... Well, it was meant to get you out of here without having to mess around too much. But I've had to mess around a fair bit with it already. Right. Okay, something weird's going on. Save progress. Main menu. Let's restart this because something is clearly wrong. Yeah. I mean, one portal? Two portals? Very weird. Especially since I flew straight through the middle of them both, you know? Just need to get through here. If you'll let me this time. Come on. Welcome to the stream, Welcome to the stream, Super Idra. Stuck in the starting zone for eternity. It's starting to look like it, isn't it? Because the two ones we've found so far is not let us go through. Yes, well, yet. I'm not under laser fire yet. Let's actually see what I'm running away from. See, I'm going this way, so my enemy is over this way somewhere. That's the nearest resource. Enemy contact over here. I was running away from a Simone. Deep water guard, I'm guessing. No wonder it's not caught up with me then. Ministry's got updated again. Is there a minimum limit for travelling through portals? Not that I know of. Yeah. Yet. Oh wait, there's another exit spawned over there. Let's see if a fresh one that's spawned will actually let me through it. Because as far as I know, there's no minimum mass requirement for these things. Hey Harry, welcome to the stream. Was that my music stopping? Nope, no it wasn't. Okay. But yeah, if this one fails as well, I'll just say hell with it, and... Oh, Simoons are dangerous for small ships, you'd run. Okay, noted. Sure. But hopefully one of these guys will work, at least. Because it'd be slightly irritating if it doesn't. Let's be honest. Because these guys are freshly spawned, so if these don't work either, then it's like something's seriously wrong here. Well, the Rapid 5 APS would tear this thing out of the sky res, so, you know. Because, remember, this thing has no armor. Nope. That one didn't work either. This is so strange. The only thing I can think of that it might be related to is the fact that my starter ship was dropped to 0 HP, but I didn't die when I refitted it. That's the only thing I can think of that might have done something to it. I've built a gate-proof escape vehicle. Yep, looks like it. An escape-proof escape vehicle. Yeah. Oh, this one's not working either. Oh. So that means I have to actually stay in the first zone and fight and survive without anything else going on. So it's like... well, this is interesting, to say the least. What's wrong, Harry? What's wrong is the fact that the warp gates aren't working. So, you know. Restart so I can actually progress. Yeah. Do you want me to do that? I mean, we're already half an hour in. And if it is the fact that my ship was reduced to 0 hit points, but I didn't die, that's done it, then, you know. Put a nuke on my craft and then ram the Simone. I'd die before I got to it, though. That's the problem with that idea. Take over this plane of existence. Well, it'll be... Well, but the entire point is I'm supposed to be in a submarine, though, isn't it? But if I can't progress through adventure mode, then that kind of breaks half the point, doesn't it? Be dodgy, then. Well, my concern is the high velocity APS advanced projectiles, because, you know, no armor. So, either I'm going to hit this thing, or I'm going to die very stupidly. I don't know which. Either suicide, restart, or damn it all and see how long you'll last. I'm kind of tempted to go with option 3, actually, because it skips the whole progress through the levels of difficulty thing, doesn't it? I mean, is there a point in going through the levels? It's just like, get a number, really, isn't it? If I'm going to be a sluggish submarine, I might as well stick around on the first zone. But yeah, I guess the getting that all-important number as high as you can is kind of the point, isn't it? So, alright, let's see. Main menu. I guess we're going to be starting again. There's the point of that vehicle there. I didn't want to get myself, you know, killed. Delete beneath the waves. Okay, now I need to... oh yeah, it's load. Right, begin new adventure. Jeez. the Waves 2. We're already on Season 2. It's only the second episode. It's flipping Season 2. Ugh. Save progress. There, right. Main menu. Hi, Epic. Welcome to the stream. Okay. You won't be hearing any game sounds for a few moments because I need to go monkey in the files for a few seconds. As soon as I find the stuff I'm after. Where was it? From the depths. There it is. Profiles. Me. Adventure mode. Game. What was it? State. That's it. Set that value to 0. Don't worry, I'll be back and getting blown up soon enough. Adventure mode. Profile 5, which is the one we just saved. State. Change setting from 1 to 0. And save. Okay. Sorted. One mildly important setting we just gained there. Which I just did that, so... Am I guilty with plagiarism with the thumbnail? Oh, you mean the one for the Left Dead series? No. Well, yes? No? I mean, it's altered for my own thing, so... Well, the problem with that source was I had to get there first. It's just faster to do it this way. So, you know. Let's load in the skimmer. You see, it works perfectly when you spawn it in Designer. Now, where's the lure block gone? There it is. Lure block. Okay. So let's grab this thingy from Kiriko. Copy. There we go. Got it. So yeah, what I did there was I've copied out the lure script so I can get this straight onto the other thing. And I also monkeyed the settings so that I have got access to the third-person camera. Seeing as I like to, you know, actually have that. Silly of me, I know, but... Let's put it like this. Okay. Resources, give me a material storage box. You just want me to ram anything though, don't you, Slaughter? Actually, you know what? I really should do it the way I did the first time, shouldn't I? Do we plan to escape this zone, or do we plan to stick around for a little while? That's the question, isn't it? We're going to use Mr. Razul's shiny design again, of course. So we're doing that as soon as I realise what I'm looking for, which is in a different place. Why do I lose track of this stuff? I have no idea. Need a sub like yesterday, if not earlier. Well, the thing is, actually, Raz, I think I don't think... Have I gone through any portals in Toba? I think I didn't for quite a while. There we go. You will just charge the battery. And then we get a new object, a new vehicle. Which we put there. Which wants a resource storage. and a balloon, which we will then deploy. Yeah, we need to try and keep them at a distance, really. Alright, so resource mode. Group 1, you are greedy and you want battery, while this craft doesn't. But the main craft wants resources and you don't. So, there we go. That thing will just float there and quite happily do things. So. Seems a little bit unsteady right there. Maybe it needs a block of lead or something just to help hold it down. That is very weird, that. There we go. And we got a little resourcing zone. Well, little resourcing drone anyway, that will just help us harvest for a while. While it just floats there, quite serenely. Okay, right, let's get back to our main craft though. Since we've got that supplying us with resources, or we would if our engine hadn't just conked out because I didn't give it any exhaust system. Because I'm great like that. Darn it. I'll get things straight one of these days, supposedly. There we go. Long-range cruise missiles and then put a nuke on it. You guys just want me to go suicide, don't you? I'm onto your game. I see what you're doing. Let's see, lead beams. There we go, so this thing is just starting to sink already. And it's just going to quite happily be running like that. Of course, the problem is now I need to actually get the engine sorted out as per Raz's specifications, because it needs to be sorted out like that. After that, put a nuke on the drone can't move. Why do you want... Build a fortress with tactical nuke drones. Right. I'm seeing a theme here, actually, in your requests. Quite honestly. I don't know why I'm surprised, though. Okay, let's see. I want to make this the end of Razul's engine. So I need to get it like that. Then I need to put in the turbochargers. Just needs to be like that. Sorry, I'm being a bit rusty here, quite honestly. Is that on? Yep. Okay. Oh, it's the wrong ones as well. Even better. Why didn't someone tell me I was using the wrong pieces? Ah. There we go. I also had the layout wrong as well. Yeah, I had the layout wrong too, so hooray for efficiency. I'm great at this. Not really, Super Richard, because that makes you immune to most of the weaponry. And it also restricts your field of view even worse than if you're underwater, especially if you're really high up. So, I don't really know about that one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that makes this thing 50 meters long. And this is at the back of it. It's just sitting here quite happily chugging on its own fumes, somehow working underwater. Though I do need to get these things hooked up to improve it as well. I guess that's my one complaint about Raz's engine design. The fact that you've got to rework a little bit of it every time you want to do something with it. You have a mental condition where you like explosions. Can't say I blame you. Can't say I blame you for that. I mean, I like explosions as well. There we go. Right, so we've got that hooked up at least somewhat. Let's at the very least make it so that this thing attempts to operate. I mean, we've got a fair amount of resources coming in now, after all. If you like explosions, build explodey things. I do! Many of my vehicles have had a slight problem with exploding. Especially when they're not meant to, which is something of a kicker, actually. There we go. And I can at least use that framework. I can. Well, nothing slight. Well, there was the time when I first stopped liking using the ammo production units, and as a result, I tried to build all my vehicles off passive regen. Basically, half of my entire vehicles, because remember, I like to focus on smallish vehicles. Half of the vehicle will be ammo packs. And then a shell would pierce the rear armor, and the entire vehicle would just go like that. Just nothing left of it, basically. If I add one more batch, that'll put this into 100 meters long. 108. Oops, slightly too long. Okay. So there we go, we've got this vehicle is 100 meters long so far. Off to a good start, I would say. Have I ever sworn in one of my vids? Yes. I have sworn in... Well, I may... I don't do it very much, but I do occasionally let loose with the odd expletive if I decide I need to vent for some reason. I just try not to. I normally do that stuff internally. I just normally don't. What can I say? It's just how I go about it. Also, I've forgotten what I'm doing again. Yeah, right. I want a one of these. Yeah, wait, you were testing me to see if I was lying about that? And what would you have done if I had said that, no, I never swear ever? What would you have done then? probably called me out on it, I expect. Altitude, roll, and pitch. Tumbler shame. Oh, you tumbler shame me. Oh, I see. Fair enough. Wait, I'm not on Tumblr. Why would I be worried about that? See, props. Props. Here we go. Tumblr is bad. Can be, but sometimes it's good. So, you know. I'm just getting this thing stabilized. May you request some early vertical launch missiles? Indeed you may. There we go, this thing is now stabilized. The only problem is doesn't know what altitude I want it to be at. So I'm going to tell you to altitude to 100 meters down. There we go. It's a mighty fine stick I have there, yes. Be a shame if something happened to it. Actually, this is me we're talking about. Something will happen to it, won't it? Never defend Tumblr. I didn't defend it. I said there's some good things about it. And there are. It's just there's a lot of bad things about it as well. So, you know. But yeah, I suppose we've got a stick. So, we want some kind of vertical launch missile. I think I'd be safer if I went with a... If I went with something with multi-purpose capability, rather than like just a missile pack. Probably be a bit safer that way. What, saying there's actually some good things about it? Not really. I mean, I didn't deny that any of the bad things about it, did I? No, as in something that will also... No, I mean, I guess we should just call it an amphibious missile then, Raz. One that will function underwater as a torpedo, as well as on the surface as a missile. So basically, if there's anything coming, I can just launch the missiles at it, and it's probably going to do something. That's why a tactical nuke drone would be good. Yeah, but that would be throwing away resources though, so... Yes. With props, of course. Hiya Dan, welcome to the stream. I'd have if I put launch pads in, wouldn't it? Also, why are we on the surface? God damn it. Oh, I know why. It's because of the flipping roll stabilizers, isn't it? Okay. Roll stabilizers. I need to replace you guys so that we won't do that. Thank you. Also replace this thing with metal beams, I suppose. Just make it that much tougher, and also much heavier. Because we want this thing to be, you know, heading in a generally downwards direction. And not just lollygagging around up here. Which it seems to be very wanting to do. You know what? Wait, aren't you you're the altitude AI, but you're set to 0. Did I set 1 to something else, or are you just not saving it? 0, 0, minus 100. Right. Darn you. Why are you... Why is it even floating like that? What is it doing? It's made of metal. Except for these little bits here, but... The heck? No, I've got a dowsing stick, I think. Right, let's actually get you heading in a generally downwards direction again with plenty of lead weights, but... The heck? No, it's still trying to be vertical. Something's confused. What's going on? Taking away that reverse thruster on the pitch control seems to have sent it downwards. That's good. I love it when I get confused by these things, really. What altitude are we at now? We are at minus 45 and dropping at a steady pace. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. The question is, will we stop when we reach 100? Something blinking is enough. What do you mean, blinking? What? Cruising altitude of minus 400 meters. Sure. Hang on. There we go. But the engine just keeps revving up and stopping again, so I think it's very confused right now. Also, did I set you to... Yeah, I set you to battery charge, and this thing doesn't have a... This thing that... No wonder this thing is messed up. It doesn't have any kind of engine power. Because I never bothered to install an electric engine, I've just realised. So it was trying to stabilise itself using PID without any engine power. No wonder it was messing up so much. Oh no. That's going to improve its performance drastically, that. Actually having engine power. Yeah, hi Cal. It has been a while. There we go, that'll get it stabilised. Since it can actually use its propulsion this time. Just need to get this bank of missiles sorted out. Let's make them 7 long, they're multi-purpose after all. Capture prefab, wipe. Width is 3, height of 7, length of 1. There we go. 1 bank of missiles, just what the doctor ordered. Drop it to a 3. I think something just spawned, which is why I'm slightly concerned. We'll add the controller. the IFF mode and the stagger fire, which will be set to 0.5 second delay. Divinity. Do you mean Divinity Original Sin? What's spawned? We have got a... Oh, joyous day! It's a Marauder. Okay, so we've got a Marauder sitting out there. An early rudimentary AI setup. You may! I don't have the missile yet. I should point that out. Fins, fins, fins. Torpedo pop, short range thruster. One turn, ballast tank. I think a laser guidance system is in order. Laser designator. Target prediction guidance. And then a treble explosive single EMP warhead. That should be good. Well, it's flexible. More geared towards water targets, really. And then we want a laser, of course. There we go. You want a treble frag double EMP? No. No fuel. Yeah, there's no fuel on these things. They fly by magic. How the heck did I forget fuel of all things? I guess we've got a bigger bank of missiles now. Okay, right. Laser designator. Double or single EMP, as long as it's some EMP and mostly frag. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be mostly dealing with surface targets, so less of an explosive situation, isn't it? The lack of fuel is somewhat embarrassing, I must admit. It's not the first time I've forgotten to put fuel onto a missile, though. 2 fuel tanks, that's actually kind of bad. Let's make it 3, actually. Then short range thruster, and the ballast tank's going to be there, set to neutral. So there we go. So it's going to be a really slow torpedo if it has to go against something underwater, but apart from that, it's actually going to be okay. Also, apparently I'm out of resource sharing range right now, so I need to up this a little bit. There we go. But we also need some propellers to be able to move. That would also be useful. Torpedo pop and short range thruster, yeah, multi-purpose, Dan. So it can function either as a torpedo or a rocket. Yeah, because the thruster won't work underwater, but the torpedo propeller will, and the opposite's also true. So it'll just let it go after whatever it likes, really. Yeah, it's quite useful. This is one weird sub. It's a stick. That's all it is. It's just a stick at this point. Actually, I don't think I haven't got a control chair, have I? No. Let's put a chair in there, along with a fire control computer, because I need that. Because there's multiple enemies around as well. Let's hop into the chair. There we go. Right, we've actually got something underwater. Vaguely. Also, I see lasers in the distance. Good thing we're deep underwater, but I'm not going to trust that. Right, maybe some ammo. Nah. Ammo? Don't be daft. Why would I use ammo? Ammo of all things. Pah. Actually, some ammo would probably be a good idea at this point. Yeah, I mean, detection is going to be iffy from under here. That's why I put in the... that's why I've the manual control right now. I think I'd need to launch radar buoys and things to actually get some guidance on things. But self-guided missiles is probably going to be the most reliable way to go. At least. Right now I'm just making sure to armour my stuff up so that it doesn't get blown up really easily. The problem is it's taking up all my resources. Yeah, some kind of sensor drone. The problem is though that then the sensor drones will just get shot at. So, you know, it's got its drawbacks. Like, I'm actually over here. But I extended my resource range so I could actually still do things with the drone. I need to move a little bit though, so let's go ahead and move a little bit. I can do an amazing 2.2 meters per second. This is such a speedy, speedy submarine. Oh yes. At least it can move though, there is that I suppose. It's not bad considering it's running on, what, 2 small propellers basically? I'm not sure if the other ones... No, the other ones will be giving thrust, so it's like 4 small propellers and this thing moves at just over 2 meters per second. Yeah, sure. Really though, I think I need to improve the resource drone in some way. Though if this is going to be a drone craft, that means it's restricted to like 30 meters per second max. Because if I go faster than that, it's going to undock the drones, isn't it? Which kind of sucks, really. I wish there was some kind of docking clamp block. Okay, that Marauder is engaged with a... Oh, it's a Volta. What drink is that? Why, it's only Monster, my good sir. I hope to unleash the beast within. It is Monster Ultra. And I know it's backwards, that's because the camera's backwards, but... Monster Energy Ultra. And the description on it starts with, some people are impossible to please. Oh, that's just... Yeah. No, I mean, like, whereas it, like, merges it onto the craft you're on. And I just realised I've run out of fuel. So it's like, think of it like a merge block in Space Engineers. So it counts as part of the same vehicle, so it's not going to get released until you tell it to release. I can't get sued. It was backwards. And wait. Who's getting sued? Not entirely sure. I also suspect that my missiles don't have the don't actually have launch capability from down here, which is going to be an interesting little problem. Let's get a target lock, I suppose, if I can. Surround the inside with rubber. Oh, let it rattle around. That sounds like an incredibly bad idea. Oh, I can lock my missiles onto the onto my own drone. That's useful. But yeah, it's just too far away for me to properly lock onto things. At least the green light is a very good thing to try and track. But I don't think that launching these missiles will clear the water. Yeah. Good thing they can function as torpedoes, though they will not breach them. They don't have the range for it. Oh, that's kind of bad, actually. These things are absolutely lousy as torpedoes. They're not meant to work this way. Poppy, I give you a shout out. Shooting at Iron's face noises. What? The torpedoes are not even tracking properly. Most of them. Yeah, they're not going very far at all. Those missiles are rubbish. Right, let's see. I need to redesign the launcher, I think. That's probably the best way to go about it. What I want to do is... connect a block along here. Like that. Then I want a new prefab, of course. I want a length of 8, height is also 8, width 1. That's not big enough, actually. Height 9. That's it. Then I'll just strip out the launch pad that I've got here already. Just need to get rid of these ones as well, like that. Hasn't that released you? It should have. Oh, it has. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then we can just go ahead and put in that prefab I just took for the new launch tubes. Or we could if I just had... well, I have to very quickly fix this, actually. So I need a set there. Set there. Set there. Set there. And then I can go ahead and get one last set in here. Like that. So there we go, we've actually increased the number of tubes. Oh, and I ran out of material. Oh, I see. Well, we've almost got an increased number of tubes. Just need to afford the last couple of gantry blocks, really. You prefer 2 4-tube systems. One for vertical launches, one for torps. Really? Okay, sure. Your wish is my command, oh master. Oh yes, your wish is my command. Why only 4 torpedo? So, why? Forgive me for asking though. Why only 4 per thing? Why not more? I don't think I'll lose any resources for doing it this way, do I? Nope, nope, I get the resources back. Okay. A, cost, and B, ammo. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. Okay, right. Let's get rid of the rear plating, at least for the moment. So that's gone too. Right. To do a couple of 4-tube launch systems, really what we need is to kick the... A vertical launch system would need to kick it straight out of the thing. Never knew what? Which one? And B... Oh, you mean the smiley face? Oh, okay. I've got this. Let's take away the. I accidentally almost severed the entire thing, so it's like whoopsie there. Let's make sure that that stays attached as I remove the provision for laser guidance. Let's see. This will be... I suppose that's thick enough, isn't it? Yeah, that'll be fine like that. If we're gonna be 4 block, actually I would have preferred it like 6 block. That would have been easy to fit in, but 4 block is fine as well. These will be self-guided missiles. So they'd be useless against anything Razul's made recently, of course, because he's got all self-guided systems like that covered in his flipping defensive flares. But you know, Infrared Seeker, and then we'll give them a. I'm tempted to give them a single pixel because that would let them kick out of the water faster as well, but. You know what, let's make these single pixel IR seekers, just for the hell of it. Fin. Then these guys will be variable thruster. Make it a 4-tube. Yeah, but there's some, well, you know what, never mind, yeah. Sure. 800 ramp time, we've got the fins, we've got the thruster. We're not going to give this thing anti-submarine capability, because, you know, it's geared in a different way. We need a 1 turn because it's self-guided. Then we need fuel, and that leaves 5 slots for warheads, which should be a fair bit. Just need to get all of the things set to a 90-degree frag, and then an EMP warhead in the back. So there we go. And last but not least, we need the ejectors to try and get these things out of the water. There we go. So 2 ejectors on each for assisted launch. Can I make anti-torpedo torpedoes? Yes, you can make anti-torpedo torpedoes. You do it just like an anti-missile missile. Also, how deep are we? Okay, let's see. Oh, they didn't even make it. They made it like 200 meters up, and then they ran out of steam. Minus 470. What? Yeah, that's the point actually. Why am I so low? Doesn't change the fact though that actually I think it's because I don't have enough lift. You know what? Let's do the sensible thing actually and just make this huge props instead. Well, I did at the time it was set. That's the problem. I did when it was set, and then I didn't after that, because I added more stuff. So, I didn't actually put in any redundancy for it. So we're going to say heck with it and just go with huge props instead. You guys are supposed to reverse. Like that. Which way is up? Yeah, that's another problem with the... Well, this is also why I was so resistant to playing a submarine for so long. It's like... How can you tell, really? How can you tell? Also, I'm aware that I'm overtaxing my engine. I just want to make sure this thing's got enough power to get where we want it to be. I'm going to expand the engine now, actually. So our altitude is now stable. Okay. Just need to add some ammo storage to deal with the minor matter of expended munitions. There we go. That'll deal with that. Though the fact is, being 400 meters underwater is also not conducive to... Oh. Oh, that resource zone's gone. I think I need to try and build on this thing. Close-in weapon systems will go after cram shells. They actually will. They're actually much better against cram shells than they are against... advanced projectile. Because advanced projectiles are so small, they're much harder to detect. Cram shells are actually much bigger, so they get spotted a lot more easily. Problem is, if I fit this thing with an AI, it's probably going to get shot at. Yes, they do. Raz, they do. Oh wait, no. Close-in weapon system. Laser AMS does. CIWS... Are you sure they don't? I mean, aren't they toggled by anti-shell as well? Or am I just getting that wrong? I must be getting that wrong, right? They never did. Oh, okay. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just an idiot. Let's see, a dedicated headed blade spinner. They can target missiles, but they never target a shell. Okay. Shame that, but... Actually, that's something that's missing, isn't it? Hopes and dreams. I know. Let's see, my complex control sets. It lives! It lives! It lives! Okay, right. You, actually, vehicle. Let's say you to fleet mode, and I want you to hover over there, please. It lives! There we go. Right. I have to go 400 meters before I get my camera above the water. It's not ideal. Come on, let me above the water, please. Come on. Oop, there we go. Where am I? Oh, there we are. Now that should, in theory, be going okay, unless I've got it backwards. Seems to be a little bit confused, actually. Disable the reverse gear for you. I think I've got you backwards, haven't I? Yeah, that is the steering that is just too good. Yeah, this thing's not working as intended. Oh, I don't know what this thing is, really. It's just a modification to the resource harvesting drone, which lets it just go nipping around the place, basically, so it can go places, apparently. I mean, it's already faster than the submarine, so, you know, must be doing something right with it. But that thing can now slowly move around by itself on its balloon without too much concern. Hopefully it's such a small target the enemy won't decide to shoot at it. But the odds of that, not that great, let's be honest. I mean, now that it's got an active AI on it, it actually counts as an enemy vehicle, I think. So it's probably going to get shot at. Dan, ion jets do. It's regular jets that don't. Let's see, I want mirror mode on. separate these guys so we can at least get them more likely to get out the water, I think is the general goal, isn't it? There we go. Because before they would do like oh, that's not going to work. No, iron works everywhere, Dan. It works in the air as well. It's just it's nothing like as powerful or efficient. I've messed this up already. Okay. Ideally, I want it to be one further over because of the center line positioning. That's not going to work properly. Hello, Laxax of Ash. Welcome to the stream, and thank you very much for the subscription. Welcome to my insane little corner of the YouTube. I have no doubt you'll regret your decision before too long. Oh dear. Every Christmas should have a large update. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, there's not enough updates to this game. I'm still eagerly awaiting plasma cannons, honestly. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with those. Honestly, I'm wondering if plasma cannon is going to be like based off the steam system in some way. Like you've got to pressurize the thing, you've got to generate the plasma, you've got to get it to the weapon system, something like that. Because that would be a cool way to go about it, I think. Like you've got this liquid medium that acts as the ammunition and the damage source as well. But we've got so few details. There's not much point in even speculating because there's no idea what it's going to be. You know? There we go, each of these has now got treble ejector on it. So we have to see if this thing will launch properly now. Or if it's going to mess things up. There's a bit of lag over that way. So let's go ahead and launch it. No, it would behave a bit like steam, but it wouldn't actually be straight from steam. It'd be a different material, like you'd have to have specially protected tubes and stuff like that. Oh, that did nothing, really. It's still like hundreds of meters down. Well, actually, no. It's getting there. But it's like you'd have to use like plasma ducts, like you use in Star Trek for high energy stuff instead. So it'd be like plasma conduits running throughout your ship to deliver plasma where you want it. You could route it through a turret like a laser system. But then you've got to have the focusing and manipulation equipment in your weapon. So you could customize it that way, like what kind of yield you have. Is it going to be a plasma beam, or is it going to be like a Covenant plasma torpedo? Something like that, if you're from the Halo universe. So there's all sorts of different ways I think you could go about it. I think I want to raise to 200 meters, actually. But then it's like... we can do all this wild theory all day, and we have no idea what he's doing with it. So, you know. So odds are he's going to do something completely different, or he's going to just do something completely unknown. There's no way of telling what the plasma system is going to be like when we finally get our hands on it. Which is a shame, really. Let's see how I at my altitude. Almost at my altitude. Okay. Right. I want to lob a casual volley. These guys are fairly close. Let's lob a volley in this direction. Still not happy with that. Yeah, that's not working properly. I I think I should probably include a ballast tank or something just to get the speed up as they rise to the surface. Might help. Might help, actually. Maybe... is there there is a delay on guidance activation, isn't there? Oh, here we go. Guidance activation. Activate after 1 second. Eject straight upward. Warhead arms after 2 seconds. So that way it'll stay straight rather than going sideways. Hopefully that'll help. Some improvement. Oh, yeah, that is actually a slight improvement. They actually made it out of the water this time. Progress! We have progress! They're not going towards the enemy, but in fact the enemy's right up... where are they even going? I don't even know. Right. 3 types of plasma weaponry. Produce plasma, then release it. A as a standard cone / diffusing beam. B as a magnetically contained beam that still diffuses. And C, fire a pellet that turns into plasma. I'm guessing on impact. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done still. Let's increase guidance delay to 2 seconds. Actually, no. Let's make it like 3 seconds. And we'll also include a ballast tank in this thing as well to give it a positive buoyancy. Float depth to 0, buoyancy +5. So there we go, we've got a buoyancy tank on them as well to try and help kick it out of the water. Hi Shaolin, welcome back. What's new? Just trying to get missiles to eject from the water, basically. Now where's the test target? Let's lob them in this direction. Now, they just lose all their velocity. The buoyancy has helped kick them out of the water at least a little bit, but they're still not doing too well. What's the range though? The range is like 1,500 max on these things as well, so... But yeah, you see what I mean though, we've got these different ideas, even just among a few people, about what a plasma-based weapon system might be like. The ejectors are not set down, so they're actually ejecting straight forward from the launch pad, which is exactly the direction they're trying to go in. I think the only thing I could do really is get them to go like 4 ejectors per thing, which is, you know. Oh wait, this thing doesn't even have a local weapon control system on it. Maximum range for engagement is 1.5 kilometers, because it's not going to make it further than that. But yeah, I think I just need to get this thing vertical eject, like flat out, kick it out to the top of the craft and hope it goes somewhere useful. Really. That's the only way I can see this thing being good. We're just too deep. That's the problem. We're too deep for a purebred missile to be functioning properly. So I think I'm going to go like triad arrangement on this thing. Yes, you. Right, aren't you gone? Oh, you're not gone. There you go. Bye bye. Right. Okay, let's do this thing. We want a launcher. We want a full rack of ejectors. Like that, so kick it out as hard as it will go. Increase the size so that it's the appropriate length. I think that's the appropriate length, is it not? 7 block. That is the correct size. Okay, right. 7, 8, 9. 9 and 3 and 3. So I just need to capture a new prefab of this launcher. So width 3, length 3, height 9. Grab that, like so. And then we can start to assign this thing to help us just get stuff out of the way. So put it in like that. I guess that's okay to be wide enough like that, isn't it? But we're going to have to go with a strafe pattern because we've got an uneven spacing on it. And then we just have to hook up the connector blocks. Like so. And that's all the ejection assistance I can give it, really. I mean, we've got ballast tank, we've got delayed turning, so it's going to point straight upwards. We've got single pixel IR camera, which is the lowest drag warhead you can get, really, I think, that's still self-guided. Stuff like that. So if these things don't break surface in a reasonable manner, then I'm not really sure what else to do with it. Let's see. Oh, there's some kind of fight going on over there. You can actually make rockets on these. Each torque thruster. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we could add torpedo thrusters. Sorry, torpedo ejectors to these. Torpedo propellers. No, we're still too deep for these things. They'll get better, but adding the... I can't see much difference between the 2 ejected version and the 4 ejected version, let's be honest. So I'll add a torpedo to these at the cost of a fin, but don't know how much help that's going to be. Well, we're 200 meters down, so, well, actually the missiles are trying to get through 190 meters of water, and they're doing a very bad job of it. So, okay, let's launch this set then. That's what I'm doing, really. I'm just test firing these underwater missiles. Oh, there's an improvement. There's also the fact that the propeller adds thruster to it as well. I think that's the big factor, though, rather than the ejector boost. Yeah, I guess that'll work. I think we've got... Yeah. Thanks for reminding me about that, Baz. I'd forgotten about that. And something somewhere had an ammo explosion. It was not me, though. I should probably point out, however, that you remember that little resource drone that nobody had shot at? Apparently it got blown up at some point. So, yeah. We've lost a certain little resource drone. Injector. Yeah, these missiles are nitrous injected. They've got all the latest bling on them. If only it was that simple. But yeah, we've got no resource intake actually, so we need to actually try and get some resources. I've just realised. We've been building, but we've not been getting any resources. No one noticed. Problem is we don't have any propulsion really as well. Also it's getting kind of laggy down here. Don't know, I don't think... Is that coming across on the stream as well? Oh, the stream says there's an error. I think that might be just be my laptop though. Yeah, that was just my laptop. Oh dear. Problem is, without that drone, we've lost our passive resource collection ability as well. So that's the other drawback of being in a submarine. We can't go up and harvest resources. Stage rockets, well, yeah. Let's see, what's nearby, what's tasty, and what can we shoot at? I think those are the important questions, aren't they? Oh, there's still, that Marauder's still around. No, it's undamaged, that's a new Marauder. Which way am I pointing? Completely the wrong direction, but I'm barely able to turn. So I've got to get close enough to a target, and I've got to kill that target as well. Yeah, that's another thing that would be so welcome. But then again, most people don't work on submarines. And even then, how often do you have people that have got submarines operating really, really deeply? Because I think that's another question, isn't it? I'm just slowly turning. I will turn! I will turn! You can see my nose is moving. I am turning. Very, very badly. This thing is just... Can't you use a buoyancy thing and push it to... you mean the ballast tank on the missiles? Yeah, they've already got ballast tanks to help them get out of there. So they've already got ballast tanks equipped. It's just, you know, still really, really bad. I think the fact it had propulsion in the form of the torpedo prop is basically what let it even... Well, it's let it work okay. Okay, so we're now at a blistering speed of 4 meters per second. Yay! The Marauder seems to have been distracted by something. Which is not actually very good for us. I really need to install a cruise control on this thing as well, actually. If it's going to be this unmaneuverable, I need to get cruise control to even get it moving. Have I even gone in the right direction? Yeah. I think I went the wrong way, actually. Where's the resource zone? There's the resource zone. Right, so that means the Marauder should be over that way. And I am pointing in exactly the right direction, actually, so yeah, okay. I just got turned around somehow. And I think I'm going to chance some of my meager resources on a cruise control. Where's an ATB? Right. Cruise control. Desired speed, water and air speed set to full power, custom input. There. And I might as well include the off system as well. So cruise control, desired speed, set water speed to 0, and then configure that onto that one. There we go. There we go. So now this craft is going to cruise in. It's going to try to cruise as fast as it can in a given direction without me having to pay attention to it. The problem is though that I've got to get over to where the Marauder is, and the Marauder can outrun me. Everything can outrun me. I mean, dear, this is just silly, really. Another reason I didn't want to do a submarine one in the first place, it's so bad. Also, I see a flash of yellow lasers over there. I have no idea what's going on over there. Yeah, I've got a very real sinking feeling about my situation. And I also think I'm not in range for these things either. Not by a long shot, but that's again why I've got cruise control. Yep, they are running out well short. I think that's what was it? That robot faction, the yellow lasers. No, it's not lightning hoods. Twin Guard? I think it's Twin Guard. Yeah, look at this. That Marauder's doing 10 meters per second. It's faster than me. Oh, Twin Guard. So I was actually correct for once. Hooray. That is such a strange thing, actually. Well, their entire faction theme is that they're robots, isn't it? Well, the Stick of Doom just lurks beneath the waves, doing not a lot of anything, really. I should just sit here for a minute. Let's sit here and have an action shot. It's like, watch the ship glide past, and that's all it does. Truly a marvel of Iron Mark III's engineering skill. What the hell? Truly a marvel of Iron Mark III's engineering skill. The hell was that? Oh. Hello. Flipping thing. God. Yeah, I'm getting torpedoed by a much faster craft. Raz, with what resources? They just blew up my missile launcher. Come on. That's just... Ugh. I mean, my only weapon system has just gone up in smoke, so... Yeah. Well, this is blooming typical, isn't it? Oh. Right. Okay. Problem with that one is I was so unmaneuverable. I just couldn't get anywhere. So I actually honestly don't care that my craft just got blown up. I was that unattached with it. But yeah, the explosion is pretty at least. You gotta give it that. It's like, it looks like the craft is falling apart, but it's just built that way. Alien robots, they have designs that are supposed to be for the Scarlet Dawn, but one of the factories has a glitch. Oh, really? That's more than I knew about them, actually. What are we at? Close to the 2-hour mark, so once again, an adventure mode stream with me, Iron Mark III, ends in complete and utter failure in the starting zone. I am so good at this. I'm thinking maybe I should just get a save outside the starting zone and then I can just launch from there. It would be much more reliable if I want to try and start an adventure series, but you know, it would avoid all this nonsense at least. And that's what I don't like about it. It's like the starting zone is just so broken sometimes. No, in this case, it's my craft that was actually broken. So, yeah. And yeah, the craft was a failure, but it was entertaining, so it just went boom. Just make a ship. Yeah, but the point of this is to make a submarine. I mean, if I just built a thruster craft, I wouldn't be having these issues. I just build a PID stabilized thruster craft and then I just go zipping away into the sunset. It's like, haha, you can't catch me. I'm too fast for you. Just being able to move is what's so important. Let's do what we did last time, actually. We won't... we're not going to start a new adventure here, but I'm going to take a quick poke into the vehicle designer and see if I can make a really small, really fast submarine. Preferably one that works, because last time we had a few problems with that. Last time I made something that barely worked. Actually, the laser spawn, it does matter if you can outrun them, because as you get far enough away, the damage drops greatly. Make it a nuclear sub. Working subs. Yeah. Working sub. Let's see. Right. So, my apologies again, everyone. It's just like I managed to get myself blown up again. We need a nuclear engine in from the depths. Doesn't RTG count as a nuclear engine? Really? I mean, I think it does, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do it like this. Don't mind me, I'm just like doing my usual thing of making some super secret elaborate hull shape. And then of course we need the beams because this is his top surface, like so. That's radiothermic, not nuclear. Yeah, that's the point actually, yeah. But I'm kind of wanting something that's just like functional, you know? So that I insist on trying to learn, I think that's one of my flaws, isn't it really? I insist on trying to learn and muddle through myself, even if I keep making insanely dangerous toys that blow themselves up at a moment's notice. Definitely one of my flaws as a vehicle builder in this game. Really, what I want here is that I want to get like a submarine which will function at least and go places. But I also want to try and stylize it a bit as well, so that's why I'm just being insane like this and, you know, actually doing hull work this time. I mean, last time I just basically slapped together a whole bunch of wood and didn't really care about the hull. But, you know, I want hull. I want hull. I want it to be pretty. Like really, really pretty. Even if it sounds really silly when I say it like that. Like that. Tank for the win? How do you mean? Single block, so oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be using this thing. I'm just trying to get my head around the principles a little bit, I suppose you could say. I mean, this is not really intended for use, I guess. Yeah, sorry to disappoint, but not really intended for use in the actual adventure. It's just like, let's see if I can put together a random submarine really quickly. Reaffirm that I have some kind of skill. That I am the master. Yeah, I'm the master, yeah, right. I don't know where that came from. But this thing should be just fine on PID stabilization. I'm just adding in pitch control right now. So thrust reverse, thrust reverse, and thrust reverse. Like so. This thing, of course, is intended as a PID stabilizer, so control chair. Who's the Forgotten Shores pictures? Isn't that the new one that he's working on? Or am I thinking of something else? I've lost the plot a little bit in regards to that. Why don't you make a naval destroyer? No PID, no advanced weapons, just you build a Ionian arms of a military... an Ionian arms version of a military craft. Well, I like to use PID though. It's a nice advanced little piece of gear. Though people do complain about it quite readily as well, because it's like, it became a rage, so it's like, everything's PID stabilized, at least I think that's how it's gone over. So that's why it's like, oh no, something else is PID stabilized. Boo. Or something, I don't know. It's kind of a mystery to me, that, to be honest. But a military naval destroyer. Yeah, no reason why I couldn't. No, that would have to come some other time though, of course. Considering this stream is basically over at this point. Right, if this little craft can go into the water and be steady, even if it's going to be a dirty, filthy PID stabilized craft, then I'll be content with it. Because it means I could put together something on the cheap really quickly. Control, give me a PID. It doesn't matter that it's got mostly internal space because, you know, it's going to be... this means I could make something that could be customized as well. Let's see, minus 20? Yeah, I absolutely adore PID stabilization. It's I mean, if you think back to the cookie wagon and how much trouble I had trying to control that thing in the air. You know? Okay, we have a thing. We definitely have a thing. Stabilizers are working kind of hard, but it is... Yep, we've got a box in the water. Excellent. We have a box in the water. Confirmed. It just needs some kind of steering. And it will act... And yeah, this is basically a fully functional submarine hull now. No, it's like that. Unfortunately, its steering is absolutely rubbish at this point. Oh wait, because I had caps lock on. Yep, it can turn, just not very well. But yeah, I've got my own little thing. Which can go places, apparently. Oh wait, I set this thing up wrong. No wonder it wasn't turning properly. There we go. That's much better. Actually, I'm rather happy with this thing, actually. My apologies. It's just like a random little bit of building, and I've put together a little submarine hull like that. Yep. I've still got some kind of touch in this game, I think. I can build something, at least. Something that's not gone boom. That's actually much, much better than the craft I just spent, like, what? The best part of 2 hours making? that thing is much better. Oh, flipping adventure mode, I don't know. It's silly, really, because this thing is, like, It's doing over 21 meters per second by itself. I should have just built something like this to start out with, quite honestly. It would have been so much more useful. I mean, at this depth, we could even have put the resource collectors on an extendable piston, actually. And then when we want to harvest resources, it sticks them out above the water. That would have been useful, I think, as well, actually. Telescopic piston, 2-meter version. And if I set you to maximum extension, that's 12 meters per piston. So if I put 2 pistons, this would have worked actually. Have some kind of smallish craft like this. Then each of these ones is worth 12, so put 9 pistons in it, which means an 18 depth on it, which is absolutely doable. But 9 of these pistons, you could cruise around 100 meters down, and then you could still extend a bunch of resource harvesters and have them above the surface of the water. And then when you wander away from a resource zone, you just retract them again. I wish I'd thought of that a lot sooner, quite honestly. Because that would have been so much use. Basically, it's like a periscope system, actually. Oh dear. That would have solved everything that I was having problems with during that stream if I'd just done something like this instead. Well, at least we know for next time, eh? Even better, the control system for this would have been easy as pie as well. We just need 2 ACBs for it. So, set piston extension to max, and set piston extension to 0. Do it really quickly because you want to see it done. Okay, sure. Won't take very long to set up at all, but let's see. I've just deleted that. Right, to mount a resource collecting grid, we require a space, which will this will serve. This craft is not as deep as ideally would be used for such a task, but hey, you can't have everything. But we could very reasonably get a resource harvesting set in place here. Really? Which is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's be reasonable and say we'll set in give in a resource set of 8. Then we want new object, include a telescopic piston. There's no real difference except that the 2 meters are like double the size, double the health. New objects, give me a telescopic piston. Could you stick a bunch of launchers on a piston? Yes, you could as well, and that would solve the depth problem very, very well. With the drawback, though, that you can't actually have them extended while your craft is actually expecting to be in combat. Because that would be a bit of a no-no. Because really, if you've got the thing extended in the middle of a fight, then you're just asking for it to get shot off, really, aren't you? So, if enemies actually shooting at you, you'd want to retract such a weapon pod down into your craft for safekeeping. But there we go. We've now got this little bump on top of the craft, like that. Let's find the resource zone. There's the resource zone. Let's go ahead and wander over to it in our nippy little submarine. I think we're in position now, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay. And so we hit the button. And a thing extends from the depths. Though, of course, the problem is that it's slightly overbalancing the craft, so I'd have to deal with that. But this thing with the size of submarine we've got, woo, splash. It needs more. It needs more correctional force, quite obviously. It's not built for this. It didn't ask for this. Right. Anyway, this thing could go like it's set at depth 20. This could probably sit comfortably at depth like 30 odd, as it is. I need to increase the reaction force of that PID set as well. Where is the roll? There you go. Good. Come on, pick it up. Thank you. Right. That's that fixed. We could probably quit. Maybe. Well, if we drop it to 30, how much has that got? We need more aggressive pitch as well, because of course extending that on such a light craft is causing a few issues. Okay, are you steady now? Yep. So that's just sitting there quite happily with this little resource extractor above the surface. Actually, we're down at 35, 36. We need more. Yeah, because it's so uncertain now, it needs a bit more. Actually, it needs more aggressive altitude control too. The entire thing just needs to be more aggressive in terms of correcting itself. There you go. It's just turned off because there's no actual material storage in here. But if we give it some material storage, suddenly the craft starts to shoot itself with lasers. So yeah, there we go. I wish I'd thought of that a couple of hours ago. But yeah, it just sits there, harvests quite happily. Most of the craft is just very safe under the water. And then something else we didn't do is we didn't set the piston velocity to max, so the pistons are only at half of their potential speed at the moment as well. Let's very quickly change that. Set piston velocity to that, then change you back to absolute 0. There we go. So that's now extended, it's harvesting, the craft is completely and utterly stable under there. Then I just hit the button again and it's like, whoops. Oh no, the resource gatherers won't function. That's okay, they're nice and safe. Now if I wanted to be tricky, I could build like a clamp, like a door which would open and close on it as well for better protection, because it's the top of the craft, it's going to get attacked more. But, you know, something like that. I think I know what I'm going to do next on part 3, when I record part 3 for this. Very much so. How much does this particular sub cost? Well, you've got to remember it's running on just a simple electric drive. It's got some space for internal missile systems actually, so it could get some basic weaponry on it too. But right now, this thing is like 5,218 resources to build it, and remember that's for a submarine that does 21 meters per second as well. Because it's got a heavily angled metal hull, all that kind of jazz. And it's sitting there, barely sipping at its power reserve, actually. Yeah, it's got plenty of battery spare. Though I like the fact that it lasers itself whenever you do this as well, though. Should probably fix that when we do the proper thing next time. But yeah, extendable resource gatherer, extendable missile pods, so we can get the missile launchers up to a much better depth to fire them. Heck, if we wanted to, we could actually give this thing effectively a periscope and attach some other sensor systems for long-range weapon fire as well. We could solve the sensor problem that way. Give it effectively a periscope and put the above-surface detection systems on that. And then it can track things a lot more accurately when you're attacking at long range. Though, of course, you'd have to retract it again as soon as the enemy starts to fire at you. But, you know, long-range fire would definitely be a very viable thing if you did it like this. Plus, it looks nice just having a vehicle able to change its shape like that as well. Now you could do something like this. Oops. And then you just have the tracking camera on it, like that. Or maybe if you were really tricky, you could have the armored top unfurl as well to reveal the detection systems, and then it just folds back up when it gets down there. Oh, I'm just seeing possibilities for this thing now. Yeah, just like that. Of course, it's restricted a bit by the fact that it's like it's a very confined submarine. It's actually a really small submarine that this is attached to. Is there no way to arm up the pistons? Not as such. The actual piston blocks themselves, we can add some armor to those, but you've got to remember that this thing has to fold away inside the craft as well. So you could do something like, I suppose, like this. Though you've also got to remember that it's got to fold away into like a 2-meter space as well when it gets down there. So you've got to be aware of what it'll look like when you fold it back up again. Like, I know for a fact that this thing will not fit inside the submarine, but because it doesn't properly detect collision, you could still do it like this. It's just like, I try to avoid doing that, really. Having things where it's gets all confused like that. But yeah, you can put some armouring on it, but I suspect these the actual bits in the middle they aren't actually counted as blocks, so they're probably immune to damage. It's the actual piston bodies themselves that would get damaged if they were attacked. At least I think that's how it works. Yeah, yeah, look at that, it just jammed on it. The first one always counts for collision. I think it's the ones after that that are bugged. They don't work on each other. Bye-bye, pieces. So yeah, arming up the pistons themselves is possible, but it's going to make it a lot trickier to do. Honestly, I'd rather just retract the entire thing into the submarine and get it protected that way. But yeah, I think I'm just going to call it there because I've got a basic submarine theory and I know what I'm going to do next time. So, this has been iMark III. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show and my spectacular death to explosions. Again. It's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time either. Not knowing this game is its current state. And I'll catch you all some other time. See you all later.